Welcome back to another explainer, everyone. Today, we are jumping right into a really powerful story about translating empty ambitions into actual tangible success. We're going to completely redefine what it means to be truly wealthy, and we'll look at how the quiet, often overlooked power of humility can absolutely transform your life's trajectory. It's the story of a guy named Arav, and his journey from a tiny village to a massive stage holds some seriously profound lessons for all of us about discipline, managing our time, and the real meaning of excellence.
Okay, let's dive right into this with a question that honestly holds a mirror up to all of us. Are you just dreaming, or are you actually doing? We've all been there, right? We all have these huge goals. We want to be recognized. We want to achieve great things. We want to make our mark on the world. But how often do we mistake the act of dreaming for the act of working? How many times have you caught yourself, lost in procrastination, kind of convincing yourself that your grand ambitions are enough to carry you forward, even when your day-to-day actions look nothing like your goals?
Section 1, The Trap of Empty Dreams. Let's look at how this exact trap caught young Arav.
So Arav came from a completely ordinary village family, but he had this massive, larger-than-life ambition. He literally wanted national recognition. His daily reality, though? Well, it was a pretty stark contrast. He was endlessly scrolling his phone, hanging out aimlessly with friends, and relying on what is probably the most dangerous phrase in the English language: "I'll start tomorrow." He was dreaming up new goals every single day, but his most valuable asset, his time, was just slipping through his fingers, entirely wasted on fleeting distractions.
Moving on to Section 2, The Spark of Discipline. Everything shifted when a wise, elderly teacher visited his village.
So, the crucial point is this. The teacher is looking out at a crowd of eager young people, and he asks, who wants to be successful? Naturally, every hand shoots up, but the teacher just smiles and delivers this absolute reality check. He says, success doesn't come from wanting, it goes to those who work hard every day for their goals. For Arav, this wasn't just advice. It pierced right through his habit of constant delaying. That night, he couldn't even sleep. He realized, actually, scratch that, it hit him like a ton of bricks. If I don't change today, my future isn't going to change either.
And man, did he change. Waking up before the sun even thought about rising, Arav established this incredibly strict 3-step morning protocol. Step 1, learn something new every single day. Step 2, put in the hard work without fail, 0 excuses. And Step 3, compete with yesterday's self to be just a little bit better. This wasn't some temporary motivational boost, It was a total rewiring of how he lived his life. Now you know how it goes. When you try to better yourself, the critics come out of the woodwork. Villagers laughed at him, asking what on earth he thought he'd gain from working so hard. But Arav showed some profound humility here. He didn't argue. He didn't boast. He simply kept his head down, fueled by this new, unshakable belief. Today's hard work will be tomorrow's identity. He literally let his discipline do all the talking. Let's move to the timeline and see how this builds, because quiet discipline compounds like a snowball rolling down a hill. Day 1 was that massive mindset shift. Then, days turned into months of ignoring the mockery and just studying consistently. Slowly but surely, his academic performance skyrocketed. The exact same people who used to mock him actually started praising him. And this relentless, quiet consistency ultimately earned him a spot at a huge academic competition in the city.
Section 3, Time as True Wealth. Let's set the scene for the big climax, as Arav steps into a completely different arena.
Talk about a fish out of water. Suddenly, Arav is surrounded by kids with massive financial resources, elite tutors, the best facilities money can buy. But Arav possessed something far, far more valuable: true wealth. While his competitors relied on money and status, Arav relied on his absolute mastery over his time and an unbreakable sense of discipline. He proved right there that time, when you weaponize it with hard work, is the ultimate equalizer. When the competition actually began, Arav was completely calm and confident. Because, think about it, confidence is really just the memory of hard work, right? The results? First place went to Arav. Boom! The entire hall erupted in applause. His quiet, daily, behind-the-scenes effort had completely outperformed some very profound financial privilege. Section 4, Humility and Lasting Success. Because how he handled this victory is the real lesson here. And this brilliantly illustrates what true humility looks like. When asked to speak on stage, Arav didn't gloat for a second. With actual tears in his eyes, he talked about his parents' sacrifices. He shared a philosophy built entirely on staying grounded.
He said, dreaming is great, but working for those dreams is essential. A young person's greatest power isn't their age, it's their time. Don't fear failure, fear giving up. And the absolute key? Compete only with your yesterday's self. He showed us that true growth is an inward journey, not an outward comparison.
So, zooming out, Araf really became an inspiration to thousands. His journey gives us a rock-solid blueprint for genuine excellence that forces us to reevaluate what we actually value. Time is your most precious wealth, period. Discipline is step one. And honoring those who guide you, like your parents and teachers, that is the absolute foundation of true humility. Honesty and hard work genuinely never go to waste.
It literally all boils down to this one idea. Successful people don't do different things. They do things differently and with full effort. Araf didn't have some secret magic formula. He just approached the exact same 24 hours in a day with a profound understanding of time as his true wealth and a grounded humility that kept him focused on doing the work rather than chasing the applause.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative question to really chew on today. Take a hard, honest look at your own goals. Are you competing against others with your resources, kind of hoping your facilities and status will carry you through? Or are you competing against your past self with your time, doing that quiet, disciplined work necessary to build true wealth? Think about Araf's morning protocol tomorrow when your alarm goes off. Until next time, stay focused, stay humble, and keep learning.